What was the name of the guy that Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta were working for in Pulp Fiction? You know what, I can just... Who was John Travolta? Marcellus Wallace, that's right. You know what's kind of sad? Kids today are gonna have no idea what it was like to have information right at their fingertips. I should do a vlog about that. But first, Tumblr. Tsuki? Weren't you gonna do a vlog or something? Okay. The first one's really obvious, because we already take it for granted even though most of us grew up without it. This little guy. A whole world of information right at our fingertips, and probably a little too much information, but there you go. When most of our generation was young, we wondered about something, realized that we probably couldn't figure it out right then and there, and then move on and do something productive with ourselves. But now, right now, if you asked, I'm sure I could find stats right now about Super Bowl IV. Not that anyone cares about that, but whatever. That's probably why they don't let you take cell phones onto Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
But we've had the internet most of our lives.
Yeah, but it wasn't always this fast. It used to take at least 2 minutes just to get onto AOL. And then you always hear that sound that'll never leave your minds. You've got mail. And God forbid you even try to attempt to load something that's image heavy. MySpace? Tumblr? You probably would have crashed the internet.
And then if you hit reload halfway through...
Don't even get me started on that.
That movie will always exist.
Yeah, and it damn well better. But there's a specific part of it that's eventually going to be lost on kids, and it really shouldn't be, because of what it represents. You see, when Bob Gale and producer Robert Zemeckis were doing research for the script, they attended a conference wherein a physicist pronounced Giga as Giga, leading to the now quotable 1.21 gigawatts.
I'm sure all of that's in some special features or something.
Probably. But it's the idea behind it that means something. This was only about 30 years ago, but we were so far behind technologically that the prefix giga wasn't even common knowledge, much less the abbreviation gigs. Now it's something that's so common that if you can't get a flash drive that's at least 2 gigs, you consider it worthless. The drastic step of storage technology is far more notable than the quote. But that doesn't mean it's not a pretty boss quote.
Do 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 do. That title's kinda confusing.
A little.
And are you gonna explain it?
Well, corded phones, Wi-Fi, keyboards still attached to desktops.
Those still pretty much exist, and Ethernet cords are still a thing.
Well, yeah, for now. But we've got a growing reliance on wireless. People having to stretch all the way from one room to the next or buying extensions for things is something extremely limited now. On the other side of that, we don't use rabbit ears anymore. No more finagling with the antennas just to get your signal just right. And as of about 2010, digital television transmissions replaced the old-fashioned broadcast signals, making those little things obsolete. Generally, they don't even work anymore. I'm pretty sure the only things that they show on the antenna TVs are, like, immigration, come apply for your green card things, and then, like, emergency broadcast stuff. The worst we have to worry about now is not having full bars. Compare that to having to move the left rabbit ear a fraction of an inch to the up and kind of diagonal, because it was the only way that we can watch America's Funniest Home Videos, and if you stepped away from the thing, it would stop working because for some reason you were the thing that completed the circuit.
Hang on. We have phenomena that parallel Harry Potter all the time.
No. We have phenomena that feel like they parallel the Potter franchise. When the Harry Potter books took off, it was a whirlwind of awesome being thrown at the world. The Potter series is often called our generation's Lord of the Rings, and that sentiment isn't really that far from the truth. The other series that came after are just shadows compared to what Harry Potter did for us. Where our parents' generation found the fantastic in the Shire, ours started in Little Winging. The Potter series opened up a brand new world that existed right inside our own.
Well, what about Twilight?
No. And if you enjoyed that series, or whatever the most recent flavor of the month is, it isn't complete. It's an extension of the world we live in and probably has more than a few errors. The Harry Potter series helped a generation of kids believe that no matter what life threw at them, they could overcome it. More than that, thanks to the rate at which the novels and films were released, we could quite literally grow up with our beloved characters. It's something that really can't be explained. The satisfaction of finishing the 7th book right when it came out was like simultaneously closing a chapter on your life and opening a brand new one. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little serious real quick. I want you to ask your parents if they remember where they were when JFK was shot. They can tell you. Most people in our generation can tell you where we were sitting, standing, lying, whatever, when we heard about the first tower being crashed. This wasn't an awesome thing by any stretch of the imagination, but it was something that changed the world forever. The critical negative event that defined the changes we would see in the foreseeable future, and it has. Not everything our generation experienced was positive or awesome. This, in particular, is one feeling we would hate to share with our children, or their children. Nevertheless, it's an event we can't repeat, so it's on this list. We have a lot of freemium games now. Games that you play for a little bit, then put down for a while. Games that can be enhanced by making purchases or using coins or whatever. And before any of these existed, there were Tamagotchi. We cannot explain why we carried around little egg toys in our backpacks or why we would spend all of our free time playing with these stupid little LCD buggers, except they were so freaking cute. And Furbies are kind of making a comeback now. A creepy comeback. But nothing can take the place of those tiny little friends who played, ate, and pooped their ways into our hearts. Now, I'm missing a lot of stuff, but this is a good start of the things that kids these days just won't get. Maybe in a while I can do a continuation of this, but one thing's for sure. My next actual vlog will be coming out in a semi-timely manner. Well, I'll try. So, at the end of each video from now on, I'm going to include this little tidbit called This Week I Learned. And this week I learned that bendigated means fantastic in Welsh.